We're live. What is up, guys? It's week 3. Football. We made it. Another week. About to kick off. A little over 12 hours. How exciting is that? We're here. It's week 3 already. We're starting to get some information. We got 2 weeks of data now that we can look at. 2 weeks of data that we can put into our decisions for week 3 lineups. We're getting closer to being able to have all the information we need to be able to make the best lineup and transaction decisions. So the questions are already starting to roll in on TikTok, YouTube. Get on your game, put in your questions, start sit. We're going to do all that tonight. And then we'll be back live again, 12 o'clock tomorrow, all the way up to kickoff, answering even more of your questions. So, obviously, if I don't get to your question or you're looking for more information, you can find all my rankings. We got a start sit tool at yardsperfantasy.com. Just go to yardsperfantasy.com. Check us out. We had some big milestones this week as far as traffic, just going way up and just keeps going up. So I appreciate all you guys who are visiting yardsperfantasy.com, supporting our brand, supporting us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/yardsperfantasy. Really appreciate everybody who is supporting our brand in one way or another, whether it's using our promo codes, at BetUS, Underdog Fantasy, both platforms. We use the promo code YardsPer. You get a great deal from them by using that promo. But anyway, let's get to the questions. So we got one on TikTok here. It's DJ Moore or Allen Robinson. These are both guys that I absolutely love. Obviously, start of the season hasn't been fantastic for either one of them. They've both dealt with poor quarterback play throughout their career. Sorry, just setting something up here on the laptop real quick. But I will go with DJ Moore, by the way. I will go with DJ Moore. I got him quite ahead of Allen Robinson for the week. Just hard to trust Allen Robinson right now. It's hard to trust DJ Moore, to be honest with you, either in that game script. So, I don't feel super great about either one of them. Stafford or Brady? I'll go with Stafford. I think the Packers Bucs game could be underwhelming as far as scoring. Both have a lot of injuries, or Mike Evans's case, suspension at the wide receiver position. What else we got? Pick 2: Ayuk, Bateman, Metcalf, or Dameon Pierce. Ayuk, Bateman, Metcalf, and Dameon Pierce. So let's go. I'm always going to assume it's PPR unless you say otherwise. Give me Bateman and give me DK Metcalf. Is trading Michael Thomas and Devontae Smith for A.J. Brown a bad trade? If I'm pairing it with Hurts. No, I don't think that's a bad trade at all. I would, pay up for A.J. Brown. I said after week 1, he's a buy high. And he comes out and performs well again in week 2. Yeah, I'm trying to buy A.J. Brown wherever. Jalen Hurts is the truth. Jalen Hurts is good, guys. Jalen Hurts is good. And he's good as a passer now all of a sudden too, which is awesome. A.J. Brown certainly helps in that. Mariota or Trevor Lawrence? This one's from YouTube. Assuming Herbert is hurt. Assuming Herbert misses. We don't know about Herbert yet. But I would go Mariota. Just for the rushing upside. I do think so. Here's the thing. You got Justin Herbert. Obviously, you're starting him if he plays. However, if Justin Herbert doesn't play, I like Trevor Lawrence a lot less. So that gives me Mariota. If Justin Herbert plays, I would probably play Lawrence over Mariota. You get me? You get me? Because the game script's going to be so different. Whether, if they got Justin Herbert out there, the Chargers are going to put up points. Jaguars going to be playing from behind. If it's Chase Daniel, the Jaguars could be playing from ahead, or it's going to be a close, sloppy, boring, low-scoring game. I mean, so let's go. Assuming Herbert's out, you're going to go Mariota. How can I possibly trade CEH? I think there's some buyers right now. I think there's buyers for CEH right now. He's had some decently productive weeks, but I do think you're in the right mindset for trying to trade him. Absolutely a sell candidate. Pittman, DK, Patterson, or Garrett Wilson. Pick one to start, please. Hey, it's kind of nice when they say please, isn't it? Don't get that very often. Pittman, DK Metcalf, Patterson, or Garrett Wilson. Pick one to start. We're going to go Michael Pittman. He's going to be back. He's going to be back this week. We're going to go Pittman. I'll take another one from YouTube. Tony Pollard or Gabe Davis? I'm going to go Gabe Davis. I think we just have to assume that he's healthy. Unless we hear something otherwise. Sounds like he's going to play. Sounds like he's good to go. PPR, Jacoby Myers, A.J. Dillon, or Adam Thielen? This one's a tough one. I want to say Jacoby Myers. He's getting the targets. He's getting the air yards. Just not getting the touchdowns. But either is Dillon or Thielen. So I think this one would come down to Jacoby Myers or A.J. Dillon for me. As much as I like, however, I do like this Vikings game this week. Vikings-Lions. If you're playing DFS, this is the game to stack right here. Vikings-Lions. That game's going to shoot out. This game is going to be a shootout. In a dome, two good offenses. I know the Vikings struggled a little bit on offense last week against the Eagles, but I think they're going to bounce back in a big way. I'd like, I would go. Who are we looking at? Jacoby Myers or A.J. Dillon? Sorry, I'm distracted. Give me Jacoby Myers. Pittman or Curtis Samuel? We're going to go Michael Pittman. Start two. Mike Williams, Cortland Sutton, CeeDee Lamb, or Garrett Wilson. Well, we're going to go Mike Williams, and we're going to go Cortland Sutton. As much as I like Garrett Wilson, there, we're still going to go with our studs. Mike Williams, Cortland Sutton. CeeDee Lamb is interesting, but I think the ceiling is not as high with CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup looks like he's going to be back. He will probably eat into CeeDee Lamb's targets, but Lamb's been getting the targets. He hasn't been getting the production, but he's been getting the targets. So we still got to believe in CD a little bit. With that said, we're going Mike Williams and Cortland Sutton. There's another question in there. This was an interesting one. I would say a week ago, this would have been a no-brainer. Tua Tagovailoa or Matthew Stafford? Like, who would have thought that would even be a relevant question, but it is. But I'm still going to go Matthew Stafford. I think that game could shoot out as well. I think the Dolphins game could shoot out as well. Both of these games could shoot out. Tua is going against a tough defense, though. I want to see it one more week. If Tua has another good week this week against the Bills, we're all in. He's good. Period. End of debate. He's good. Until then, we're going to go Stafford. David Montgomery or Brandon Cooks. Again, I'm going to assume this is a PPR league. So in PPR, we got slight edge to David Montgomery. He's been getting a ton of targets. I think the defense opens up a little bit this week against Houston. And it could be a low-scoring game, which will not be in favor of Brandon Cooks. So we'll go Montgomery on this one. Although I do like Cooks. I'm playing him in a lot of cash games in DFS this week. And if you do play DFS, subscribe to our DFS and betting guide at yardsperfantasy.com. It is free. Just go to yardsperfantasy.com/bets and you'll get our DFS and betting guide for free every Saturday morning right in your inbox. All you got to do is put in your email address and you're subscribed for free. It's unbelievable. 36 pages of content is what we put out this week based around DFS and betting. We give you a bunch of lineups for both GPPs and cash games. We give them to you. And then we also give you some strategy to help you make your own lineups as well. And we'll give you our favorite bets of the week, both college football and NFL. A lot of good stuff. The betting lines for every single game, the key injuries, the weather. We're giving you the weather. It's unbelievable. You got everything. The weather. We're giving you the weather. We covered all. And are we back? Can you hear me now, YouTube? This happened during Wednesday's show as well, and I didn't notice until the fucking end. And I don't know what happened. I didn't touch the mic. We're not on mute. I get this error message on StreamYard that says something, your browser lost connection with the mic. Can you hear me, YouTube? I think you can. There you go. Thanks. I'll try to pay attention to the chat a little bit more. Thank you for letting me know. What do you think about Rondale Moore when he comes back? Well, if he plugs right into the Greg Dortch role, we like him. Because we got Greg Dortch talent-wise, and we got Rondale Moore talent-wise. The only thing is, does he beat DeAndre Hopkins back from injury? That's the question. Does he beat him back? Because I think when DeAndre Hopkins comes back, I don't know if he's going to be playable like consistently. He'd be like a DFS play or a best ball play. And yes, you can still draft best ball teams. Best ball resurrection on Underdog Fantasy, promo code yards per. Yeah, I liked Rondale Moore coming out. I think the Cardinals like Rondale Moore more than they indicated to us last year. I know his snap share just went at the end of the year. But there are indications that they like him. And if he slides into that Greg Dortch role, he's going to get a ton of targets. Is Nico Collins a decent last-minute pickup? Yeah, he is. He's getting targets. There's not a lot of competition in that offense. As far as targets, I do think this week in particular could be a low-scoring game. A lot of running on both sides. Not a whole lot of offense. Not a whole lot of passing, which obviously is not going to favor Nico Collins. But for the course of the season, I do like Nico Collins as a decent pickup. Absolutely. I traded away Nick Chubb and Hollywood for Javonte Williams and Chris Olave in a half PPR league. I'd appreciate your thoughts. I traded away Nick Chubb and Hollywood, Javonte. I'd say you probably overpaid, especially in a half PPR league. I probably prefer Chubb, to be honest with you. At least as close. Though I think Chris Olave, and I talked about it on the show earlier this week. I made some TikToks on it. Olave's on the edge of a breakout. He is the buy at wide receiver this week. Why don't we plug this into the trade calculator? yardsperfantasy.com/trade-calculator. Let's see what the calculator says. So what was it? Okay, you have Nick Chubb. We got to change the settings here to half PPR. We're going to assume it's a 10-team league. We got so many customizable settings on this trade calculator. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. There's Nick Chubb, Marquise Brown, and you got Javonte and Olave. I'm going to guess before the calculator comes back. I'm going to say it's probably going to say that you gave up too much. Let's see what it says. Let's press the button. Calculating results. Yeah, giving up too much, but it's not that far off. It's not that far off. It's about, it does, if you're far off or slightly off, it does give you some suggested players. This is so freaking cool, this trade calculator, by the way. yardsperfantasy.com/trade-calculator. It gives you some suggestions on some players that can close the gap on the other side to make it an even trade. Some of the suggestions. So it says that it's about an Allen Robinson or Curtis Samuel away from being an even trade. So it's not too far off. I don't hate it. I wouldn't have done the deal. Not in a half PPR league. But I don't think it's like, oh, you lost that deal, you're terrible. No, I don't think so. It could go either way. It really could. Like I said, I love Olave right now. He is on the verge of a breakout. 334 air yards in week 2. That's like incredible. To put it into perspective, Jalen Waddle was number 2 in air yards in week 2 with 180. 334 for Olave, 180. But we're spending too much time on each question, so we gotta go faster. Irv Smith or Alberto? Oh, my heart with Alberto. So he was okay in week 1, got some targets. Big goose egg in week 2. That whole team, that whole offense is a fucking mess right now. And I think, like I said earlier in the show, Vikings, Lions is going to shoot out big time this week. Let's go Irv Smith. All right, here's another one from Colton. I know it's a bum question, but do I stick with Ezekiel Elliott over Melvin Gordon and Jerick McKinnon on the bench? Yeah, you got to stick with them. Over those guys you do right now. But yeah, I feel your pain. I feel it. This is going to become Tony Pollard's backfield sooner or later. Christian Kirk or Tua Tagovailoa. Like I said before, I want to see one more week from Tua. We're going to go Christian Kirk. That's going to be a shootout. How do you think Debo will do tomorrow? Against the Broncos, I think he'll be Debo. He got a quarterback upgrade. As much as I love Trey Lance for fantasy football, you got a quarterback upgrade. This is upgrade for Debo. Now they're also without not just Elijah Mitchell in the backfield, so he's going to get his carries and all that shit. Not just Elijah Mitchell, but also without Tyrion Davis-Price, who had a decent workload last week. Javonte Williams and Pittman or Hollywood and Mixon. I'm guessing this is a trade question. Give me the Pittman side. Tua or Burrow, we're going to go. I was going to say Tua. Let me check. I knew it was close. I got Burrow ranked one spot ahead of Tua. I think this could be a bounce back week. And, for the Bengals offense, for that offensive line going against the Jets defense. And I don't think they're going to be playing with this huge lead. They could be, but I don't think they're going to be because the Jets offense has been, can I say impressive under Joe Flacco? Impressive. They have been. They're going to score some points. It's going to be some points in that game. Is it a make it or break it week for Ramondre Stevenson? So I talked about this on the show earlier in the week. Although if you were on YouTube, we had that mic issue and we totally lost it. But if you heard it in the podcast feed, it was fine. I also made a TikTok about it. So Damian Harris, he got the touchdowns, he got the carries, he got the yards. But Ramondre Stevenson, he was the preferred back in the passing game. So if you're in a PPR league, there's still some life for Ramondre. He ran 23 routes, which was about 60% of Mac Jones's dropbacks, to Damian Harris's 9 routes, which was about 23, 24%. So he's getting work in the passing game. And not only that, he outsnapped Damian Harris 62% to 40%. Ramondre's getting on the field. Both of these guys had a 6% target share. So I think Damian Harris will continue to lead the team in carries, but I don't think it's going to be by a large margin. Stevenson could outsnap him, and Stevenson is more often than not going to be the guy in that backfield as far as the passing game. I don't know how long Ty Montgomery's out. He's on IR. I don't know if this is a long term or is this like when he comes back from IR after the 4 weeks, he's good to go. But for right now, I think we can feel okay with Ramondre. I'm still keeping him on the bench though. Gibson or Hall? We're going to go Gibson. Let's go Gibson. Should I start Joe Burrow or Matthew Stafford? I'm going to go Stafford. Start 2. Cortland Sutton, Rashad Bateman, Sterling Shepard, and A-Rob. Let's go Sutton, and we're going to go Bateman. Garrett Wilson or A-Rob. Oh, this one, I think this one's close. I think we're going to lean the rookie. Let's take a look at the rankings real quick. You can also use our start sit tool, yardsperfantasy.com. If I miss your question, yardsperfantasy.com/start-sit. It will literally tell you what my answer would have been because it goes against my rankings. Who are we looking at? A-Rob and Garrett Wilson. I have a slight edge to Garrett Wilson. I have him about 5-6 wide receiver slots ahead of A-Rob this week. He's been balling, guys. He's the truth. Garrett Wilson is good. Gabe Davis and Tony Pollard for Pittman in a PPR league. Yeah, I would do that. I would guess, I'm thinking the trade calculator would probably tell you no. I'm going to tell you yes. I love Pittman. As long as that ankle's healthy, which if he only missed one game, I think, it's not an ankle. It's a quad. He's good. He's fine. I think he'll be fine. Hopefully he'll be fine. I love Michael Pittman. Here's another trade question. Should I trade T. Higgins for Miles Sanders? I also have A.J. Dillon, James Conner. We know Conner has an ankle injury right now. I do think that Miles Sanders is going to have a decent week this week. I really do. With that said, I would tell you no. I'm going to keep T. Higgins. But just to see what the trade calculator would say, let's see what the trade calculator says. We're going to assume PPR. We got to change the setting back from half PPR, which is where we had it before from the other question. Trade calculator. Here we go. Click on the button, calculating results. It's a fair trade. It says it's a fair trade with a 2-point value favor to T. Higgins. So if you really need a running back, it's fine. I'm sticking with T. Higgins, though. Would you trade CeeDee Lamb and Christian McCaffrey for Chase and Fournette? Whew. That one rocks me. That one's tough. Man, it's hard to give up Christian McCaffrey. Yes, I'll do it. I'll do it. Would you trade Henry, I'm assuming this is Derek, not Hunter, for Hill and Swift, or Hill or Swift? If this is Hill and Swift, why are you asking the question and not clicking the button? Make the deal. Yes. If it's either or, yes. Start Dalvin Cook or Fournette? Yes. Why can't you start with these? What's with these leagues that you can't start Dalvin Cook and Leonard Fournette? Like, what are you playing? Like a 4-man league? Like, why can't you start both these guys? Tell your commissioners to give you more spots. Like, what are you starting? One running back? Give me Dalvin Cook. Fucking stupid leagues where you can't start both those guys. Yell at your commissioners. What are you doing? I get questions like that every week. Like, what are these leagues? Anyway, rant over. DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel? Oh, I want to say Curtis Samuel so bad, but the logic just... fuck it. I want to say DJ Moore, but... damn, that one sucks. Yeah, we'll go DJ Moore, I guess. I get why you're having a hard time with that question, though. That one's a tough one. Devontae Smith, Chris Olave, or Elijah Moore. So this one for me comes down to Devontae Smith or Chris Olave. Both of them moved up the rankings quite a bit for me this week, and I actually have them back to back. A slight edge to Chris Olave. I'm fine with either one of them. I think if you want the safe play, we'll go Devontae Smith. But like I said earlier, Chris Olave is on the edge of a smashing breakout. This might not be the week against the Panthers. This could be in a low scoring, one of those kind of ugly games. But Chris Olave, I promise you, right here, we're going to say it right now, within the next 4 weeks, we'll be conservative. Within the next 4 weeks, Chris Olave is going to have a massive breakout. Massive. What do we say massive? I don't know. 120 plus yards and 2 touchdowns, 150 yards and 1 touchdown. Massive, massive game coming from Chris Olave sometime in the next month. Do I play... oops, I lost it. Do I play Edwards, Elaire, or Miles Sanders? Oh, Edwards, Elaire, or Miles Sanders. I can't read, apparently. We're going to go Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders, stop asking the question. Start 2, Keenan Allen, CEH, Cortland Sutton, or Michael Thomas. Do we know about... I don't think we have an answer on Keenan Allen yet, do we? We don't have an answer on Keenan Allen. Did I miss that? He's still kind of iffy. Let me know in the chat. Did I miss that? There's a lot going on this week. I missed Keenan Allen. Is he good to go? I don't think he's good to go yet. I think he's kind of up in the air. Game time decision. But so is his quarterback. So yeah, we'll go Sutton. If Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert play, we'll go Allen. Otherwise, we'll go Michael Thomas. Anyone got me in the chat? Do we know? Do we have news on Keenan Allen? I don't know why I'm missing this one. Mike Williams or Rashad Bateman? Again, why can't you start both of these guys? We're going to go Mike Williams. But if Keenan Allen plays and Justin Herbert doesn't, we'll go Bateman. We'll say that. In the flex, Jahan Dotson or they just asked me Jahan Dotson or Aaron Jones. Chat, answer that one for me. Jahan Dotson or Aaron Jones? What do you think? Come on. Aaron Jones. Josh Jacobs and oh, I missed it. Yeah, you're right. You got it. You guys got it. You know it. You know it. Aaron Jones, you know it. Josh Jacobs and Antonio Gibson for Kamara or Javonte? For Kamara and Javonte or is it or? Josh Jacobs and Gibson for Kamara or Javonte? I think you need to clarify that one. Is it or is it you have a choice between Kamara or Javonte, or is this? I don't know. We like Antonio Gibson. I think Josh Jacobs, we don't know about that illness this week. And I think there's a trade question anyway, but I had Josh Jacobs in so many of my cash game lineups this week. I was about to put it in the DFS and betting guide at yardsperfantasy.com, yardsperfantasy.com/bets. Get that thing for free, 36 pages. We had him in so many of our cash game lineups. Then yesterday doesn't travel with the team. Ripped him out of there. We subbed him out for Miles Sanders, a few lineups, even put Michael Carter in there a few times to make up for it. Even created a couple GPP lineups with Zamir White in there. And then he gets on a plane by himself and he travels to Nashville, and now it sounds like he might play. Who knows? And then he's been sick all week. He missed practice all week. Is he going to get a full workload? I don't fucking know what to do I don't know what to do with Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, Brandon Bolden, Amir Abdullah. I don't know what to do with that backfield this week. Jacobs has been getting all the touches. I talked about him as a buy low this week. And then he's sick and he doesn't travel. And who knows? That one's one I would stay away from if I can this week. If you can afford to. I know you probably can't. If you have Jacobs, you probably got to start him, but questionable with that one. Pollard or Pierce? Let's go Pollard. He's still getting more receptions, targets. Pierce is getting the carries though. But we know receptions and targets are more valuable than carries. Christian Kirk or Darnell Mooney? Christian Kirk. Darnell Mooney has 4 yards in 2 games. Pathetic. And it's not his fault. Justin Fields is terrible. The coaching staff is even worse. Bears fans, I feel for you. Rodgers or Wentz? Let's go Aaron Rodgers. So you guys know, mind-blowing stat. The 3 passing yards leaders in the NFL right now. Well, looking it up, chat. Who do you think? 1, 2, and 3. You even have to put it in order. 1, 2, and 3 passing yards leaders through 2 weeks. Who do you think it is? Well, I'm looking it up. Don't cheat. It's number 1 is Tua. Cameron knows. At least with Tua. Carson Wentz. Allen's got it. Tua, Wentz, Flacco. In that order, you nailed it. Tua, Wentz, Flacco are the passing yards leaders the first 2 weeks. Like, who the fuck saw that coming? Tua. I mean, Joe Flacco. What is this, like 2008? Chris Olave or Darnell Mooney for the flex. We're going to go Chris Olave. If I can afford to bench Darnell Mooney right now, I'm benching him. Gabe Davis or Drake London? Ooh. Normally I can just... This one we got to look at. We got to look at my rankings for this one. Or just use the start sit tool. Yeah, they're close, but I'm going to go Drake London. Gabe Davis coming off the ankle injury. London's been getting so many targets. This is a stud. Drake London is a stud. I got him at wide receiver 23 this week. Gabe Davis took a wide receiver 26. So we'll give a slight edge to London. Tua or Russ? Who would have thought? Who would have thought we'd have these questions coming into the season? Broncos have been so disappointing, man. So disappointing. With that said, I'm still going Russ. Slightly. But I don't blame you for starting Tua if you want to do it. But I want to see one more week. One more week from Tua. I keep saying it, but I know the audience is coming in and out. One more week I want to see from Tua before I go with him. But I'm still ranking him as my QB 12 this week. London or Hollywood? What was it? London or Hollywood? Let's go with Hollywood. We're gonna go Marquise Brown. Russell Wilson or Jimmy G? We're gonna go Russell Wilson. Breece Hall or Jacoby Myers? We're gonna go Jacoby Myers. He's been getting targets, air yards, everything but the touchdowns. Dylan or Jeff Wilson? I'll go Dylan. I'll go Dylan. I think Aaron Jones. We saw Aaron Jones up here this past week. AJ Dillon down here. But if we look at the usage, it's more like here. They were like right there. They're right there. So I think Jones is going to come down. Dillon's going to come up as far as fantasy production. It's going to be tough to predict who is going to have the big weeks in that backfield. Pick 2, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, or Cortland Sutton. We're going to go Cortland Sutton. So it comes down to between DK Metcalf or CeeDee Lamb. These are both guys who are just like kind of feels gross to start right now. I have them ranked back to back with a slight edge to CeeDee Lamb at my wide receiver 24. Michael Gallup sounds like he's going to be back this week. So I did move Lamb down the rankings a little bit, but he's still a borderline wide receiver 2. Dortch or Mooney? I can't believe I even have to think about that one, but we'll go Mooney, I guess. Feels so gross starting Mooney. Also feels gross starting Dortch, but yeah, I'll go Mooney. I'll go Mooney. We got a bench one in PPR leagues. Michael Thomas, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, or Hollywood Brown. Man, it sucks to bench Garrett Wilson right now. But I'm going to bench him. We're going to bench the rookie. Juju or Dotson? Let's go Juju. Curtis Samuel or Devontae Smith? We're going to go Curtis Samuel. How about that? How about that hit this year? Curtis Samuel. Was anybody else telling you to draft Curtis Samuel other than me? Not many. Not many. Dameon Pierce or Juju Smith-Schuster? In a PPR league, we'll go Juju. Otherwise, we'll go Dameon Pierce. Brandon Cooks or Gabe Davis? We're going to go Brandon Cooks. Ezekiel Elliott or Jeff Wilson? We're going to go Zeke. Darrell Henderson, Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, Treylon Burks. We're going to pick 2. So Treylon Burks has been disappointing, but his usage as far as targets per route is impressive. Treylon Burks is top 10 in targets per route, according to playerprofiler.com. However, I'm not starting him over those guys this week. Jerry Jeudy, I think he's still a question mark. We'll have to see about him. So it comes down to Darrell Henderson or who's the other one? Elijah Moore. Give me, assuming PPR, will give a slight edge to Elijah Moore. Cam Akers saw a lot better usage in week 2 than he did in week 1. His snap share was up from 18% to 44%. We're getting there. And he ran more routes than Henderson. And he was the only running back that was targeted. He had an 8% target share, which isn't great, but it's not terrible for a running back. While Darrell Henderson had no targets. Brady or Goff? I like Goff this week. I actually don't love Brady in this game this week either. But I do have Brady ranked 2 spots ahead of Jared Goff this week. I got Brady at QB 13. Goff is at QB 15. But I do not hate. If you want to start Jared Goff over Tom Brady this week, I give you permission to do it. I don't hate it. I'm not doing it. I still get Brady. But I give you permission. I don't think you're crazy for doing it. I really don't. Stafford or Brady? We're going to go Stafford. Brandon Ayuk or Tony Pollard at the flex in standard scoring. I think we'll go with Pollard in standard scoring. Tua or Mariota? This one's close, but I'll go Tua. We'll go Tua. Should I trade Treylon Burks for Ramondre and Gallup? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Burks could break out, though. He could break out. There's some signs there that he could. Christian Kirk or Brandon Ayuk in the flex. We're going to go Kirk. Carr or Wentz or Goff this week. Yeah, we're going to go Goff. Roll the dice with, you know what? No. We're going to go Derek Carr. I was looking at Goff or Wentz. We're going to go Carr over Goff. It cut out for a second. You said Mariota or Tua. I said Tua. Tua Tagovailoa over Marcus Mariota. Should I give up George Kittle and Michael Gallup to get Drake London? You also have Tyler Higbee. That helps. I think you can get more. I wouldn't trade Kittle right now. I wouldn't trade Kittle. He's coming back. Kittle's coming back. He's got Jimmy G now. Why don't we wait and let's get a couple decent weeks out of Kittle, and then we'll trade him, and we'll get even more than Drake London back in return. Though I do love Drake London, but I would say no. Let's hold Kittle. Let's get a couple good performances. Let's get that value up. Remind your league mates of how damn good he is, and then you can trade him. Start Jacoby Myers, Josh Jacobs, or Cordero Patterson. Let's go with Patterson. We'll go with Patterson. I do like Myers, though, but we'll go Patterson. More likely to get the touchdowns. He's still going to get the carries. He's going to get the targets. Bateman, Hollywood Brown, or Allen Robinson, PPR League. Let's go. Well, it's not going to be Allen Robinson. So it's between... Shit, I lost who it was. It was between Bateman and Hollywood Brown. Let's go Hollywood Brown. Bateman or DJ Chark? Bateman. Easy. Bateman. I do love Chark. That game could shoot out, but Bateman's a lock. Penny or Mostert? Oof, depressed. Yeah, Mostert's usage was way up last week, and Penny's was way down. Mostert was a surprise after week 1. I know Chase Edmonds didn't play well in week 1, but his usage was pretty definitive that he was the RB1. I always forget who the fuck we're talking about. Penny or Mostert. While Penny was in a negative game script for the first time this season, And Kenneth Walker is back. And his snap share went. Actually, he was outsnapped by Travis Homer. And then Kenneth Walker was seeing more targets. Penny wasn't even seeing any targets, which isn't a surprise anyway. He averages less than a catch per game in his career. But I was screaming after week 1 to sell Rashad Penny. Screaming it. He looked good on Monday night. He wasn't super productive, but he looked good. But we knew that was not going to continue. But why don't we answer the question? Penny or Mostert? We'll still go Penny though. With all that said, we're still going to go Penny. I want to see more usage. I want to see more from that Dolphins backfield before I can say Mostert's a guy, especially against the Bills. It's still a split backfield. Seahawks are favored. They could play from a lead, which would give the positive game script to Penny, which could give him some more carries. Maybe he gets a touchdown. I don't know. I don't want to start either one of those guys, but if I have to, it's Penny. Michael Thomas or Jalen Waddle. We're going to go Jalen Waddle. Or Olave or Dortch. We're going to go Chris Olave. He's on the verge of a big-time breakout. So Jeff Wilson, Cam Akers, or DJ Moore in the flex. We're going to go DJ Moore. We already answered Olave or Dortch. That's Olave. DK Metcalf or Sterling Shepard. Give me Metcalf. Jared Goff or Tom Brady. We're going to go Tom Brady. But I do like Jared Goff this week. I love the Lions-Vikings game. A lot of points coming in that game this week. Ezekiel Elliott or Aaron Jones. Let's go Aaron Jones. Should I start Cole Beasley? I don't know who your other options are. I would say no. But if you're desperate, you could do a lot worse. Guy's been with the team for less than a week, but he's going to play. TJ Hawkinson or Logan Thomas. Let's go Hawkinson. Akers or AJ Dillon. Let's go Dillon. Kittle or Everett. We'll go Kittle. Hawkinson or Logan Thomas. We just answered that. Hawkinson. Patterson or Hollywood Brown. Patterson or Hollywood Brown. Let's use the start sit tool. yardsbyfantasy.com/start-sit. And it's going to go against my rankings. It's going to give us the answer, which is Cordero Patterson. Tony Pollard or Travis Etienne? Yeah. See, Etienne's been close to having a good game, but I'll go Pollard. Allen Robinson or Garrett Wilson. Let's go Wilson. At your wide receiver 3 spot, should we go Curtis Samuel, Jerry Jeudy, or Garrett Wilson? We're going to go Curtis Samuel. I got a trade question here. It looks like it's Dynasty. It's asking, I traded Olave in a second for J.K. Dobbins, Hayden Hurst, Nico Collins. Thoughts? I think it's fine. It's fine. I love Olave. Dobbins is coming back. I think he might smash. Not right away. Olave, Pierce, or Elijah Moore. I'm sorry. Give me Olave in a PPR league. Jordan Mason or Pacheco. This is what I'm talking about. These are the questions to ask. These are the deep questions. These are the questions we should be asking. Not Dalvin Cook Or who was it before? We had a question, should I start Dalvin Cook or Leonard Fournette? Like, what? Yes, both. Why can't you start both of them? Now we got a guy coming in here asking Jordan Mason or Pacheco. This guy's in a whole fucking other league, whole fucking other level of a league. That's what I'm talking about. With that said, I would go Pacheco because we just don't know. We've seen Pacheco get a little bit of usage. We haven't seen that from Jordan Mason yet. He's a projection. Jeff Wilson's going to lead that backfield still. Deebo Samuel is going to get his in that backfield. Marlon Mack just got activated, so he could be playing ahead of Jordan Mason. I know Jordan Mason's been playing or been active. He hasn't been playing. So we're going to go Pacheco there. That's what I'm talking about. Pacheco. We're going to wrap this bad boy up. Almost an hour here. We'll be back tomorrow. And we're not done yet, but we're getting close. 10 o'clock, we're done. 10 o'clock, we're done. Terry McLaurin or Garrett Wilson. Let's go Terry McLaurin. Just traded Amari Cooper and Cam Akers for A.J. Brown. What do you think? Yeah. I'm as much as I love Akers. Yeah, I like that deal. I like it. Even if you overpaid. I don't think you did. No, you didn't. I love that deal. A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown. Go get him. If you can go get A.J. Brown right now, get him. What are your qualifications for giving fantasy advice? Trust me, bro. Those are my qualifications. No, I mean, I don't know what you need for qualifications. I don't know I don't know what you're looking for. I don't think anybody can say, "Oh, I got qualifications." What do you do? What do you do to get qualified for giving fantasy advice? So, a little about me. I've been playing fantasy football. Yeah, trust me, bro. This guy knows. Trust me, bro. I've been playing fantasy football for a long time, 15, 16 plus years. And I do all the research. If you check out my website, yardsperfantasy.com, you'll see all my rankings. If you want to see all my rankings, you can see them there, yardsperfantasy.com. I got articles up there. Obviously, that doesn't qualify me just because I'm putting out content. I don't know how else to answer that question. But if you want to go, what I would go to, if you want to know what I'm looking at, what my process is, I would go to yardsperfantasy.com, find my fantasy notebook series. I put it out every week, Tuesday mornings. And in that, it's not an article. It's just a bunch of one-liners where I'm giving you the notes that stand out to me as I'm going through my research for that week. I'm looking at snap share usage. I'm looking at target share usage. I'm looking at route participation. I'm just going through the data. I'm not just looking at the box scores. I'm not just looking at fantasy points scored. We're looking at the data. So go to yardsperfantasy.com. Find my notebook article. The fantasy notebook comes out every Tuesday. And you'll basically get a window into my process. That's the best way I can answer that question. It's a fair question, though. Trust me, bro. It's probably the best answer. Olave or I'm misspelling. I'm going to guess you meant A-Rob. It says Roy. I'm going to guess you meant A-Rob. Tell me if I'm right. Olave or A-Rob, we're going to go Chris Olave. Now I really want to know if I was right about that. Oh, it's not a question. I gotcha. Is Chris Olave going to be the offensive rookie of the year? He could be. Chris Olave could be. And you know what? I made a TikTok with our partnership with BetUS because before the season, it was like in July, I was doing some betting, some futures videos. We were looking at rookie of the year. That was one of the videos that I made. And one of the guys I talked about as having a shot at being the rookie of the year was Chris Olave. And I hope you made the bet. I would have if it was legal to do so in my state. But if you want to do some betting, go to BetUS. BetUS is a fantastic platform. These guys have been around for 25 plus years. They're worldwide. So they've got a track record. They're trusted. And if you use our promo code YARDSPER, that's all one word, YARDSPER, you'll get a 125% deposit bonus on your first deposit of $50 all the way up to $2,500. Obviously, not. I don't think you're going to put in $2,500, but if you want to, you'll get a whole heck of a lot free money back in return. So that's BetUS, promo code YARDSPER. Yeah, I think Chris Olave could be Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think there's going to be a quarterback. Usually it goes to a quarterback. Those types of awards. Are we going to get Kenny Pickett anytime soon? I don't think so. I really don't. I know the talk has been after this past week we might get Kenny Pickett. And even if he plays, is he going to play well? He's got the weapons. I'm not a big Kenny Pickett guy. Brandon Ayuk, Darnell Mooney, or Chris Olave in the flex spot. So after we just talked about Olave, I think I got him, and it's going to be between him and Ayuk. So fuck Mooney. Like I said earlier, if I can sit Mooney for any respectable player, I'm doing it. It's been pathetic there in Chicago. It's not his fault. So it's between Ayuk and Chris Olave. And I knew it was close. I always have this inkling they're close. Looking at my rankings, I have Brandon Ayuk at the wide receiver 31 and Chris Olave at the wide receiver 32. So Brandon Ayuk, slight edge, but it's kind of a toss-up there. Are the Bills winning tomorrow against the Dolphins? I would expect so, yes. I would expect so. And we're going to find out if Tua is the real deal. Do you guys think Tua is the real deal? What we saw week 2 from Tua, is that the Tua? Is that the real Tua? This is a guy who, don't forget, this is a guy who overtook Jalen Hurts at Alabama. And we saw how damn good Jalen Hurts is these first couple of weeks. So is Tua the real deal? What do you guys think? I think coming into the season, I would have said no. After this past week, he's got the weapons now, the offensive line in front of him. He might be the real deal. Let's look at one from YouTube, from Aiden. He says, pick 2. One for the wide receiver and one for the flex spot, and it's a full PPR league. So he's asking, should I start Cortland Sutton, T. Higgins, Christian Kirk, Mike Williams, or Alvin Kamara? Aiden, what kind of league are you playing in, bud? Why? This is a tiny league, small lineups. You should be starting these guys, all these guys. Start them all. 2 receivers and a flex. I gotcha. So 2 wide receivers. We're gonna go. All right, so that's a little better. Okay. So 2 wide receivers. Let's go. We're gonna go Higgins. So Mike Williams kind of comes with, all right, is Keenan Allen gonna play? More importantly, is Justin Herbert going to play? So it kind of comes down to that. This guy says he's in a 10-man league. He's 0-2 with this. This is your lineup decision. You got all these studs, and you got Dalvin Cook and Leonard Fournette, and you're 0-2. Well, I hope you're not hitting the panic button because your team is going to be just fine. So Mike Williams, I would start Mike Williams if Keenan Allen is out and Justin Herbert is in play, if he does play. Otherwise, we'll go T. Higgins and Cortland Sutton. So I've got them ranked currently as if Keenan Allen's out and as if Justin Herbert's in. So I got Mike Williams at wide receiver 12. I got T. Higgins at wide receiver 13. And Cortland Sutton at wide receiver 14. And Christian Kirk, by the way, I believe was also part of that question. He's my wide receiver 15. So this is a tough one. I understand this debate you got here. So we're going to go 2 wide receivers. So we'll go Williams, Sutton, and then we'll go Higgins in the flex. How about that? I traded Javonte Williams and Logan Thomas for CMC. Did I win? Yes. Keenan Allen might play, but he's back in. He's back in. That makes a lot of sense. I absolutely see that. You don't want to mess with a guy who's 30 years old at this point. With those soft tissue injuries, it can be, re-injured so quickly, so easily. Only missed a week. So yeah, but to be honest with you, if you're looking at it from a team perspective, it drives me crazy with these teams who bring these guys back and then they're limited. Why even bother playing them? Why even bother? If they're not fully healthy, sit them out. Sit them out until they're healthy. Because otherwise they're going to come back. They're going to aggravate the injury. Now they're out for multiple weeks. Just sit them for one more week. Let them get healthy. And then you're good to go. It's not like you don't have Mike Williams and Austin Eckler and Josh Palmer, even DeAndre Carter's making some plays out there. Gerald Everett making some plays. You're okay. You got Justin Herbert at quarter. You're fine. Just give Keenan Allen some time to recover, man. The dude's old. He's getting there. Henderson or Michael Carter. Let's go Michael Carter. Cam Akers ate into that Henderson usage quite a bit last week. Akers is coming back, guys. He's on the way back. Pretty soon you're going to have him back in your lineups. You guys agree with that or no? All right, we're going to take 3 more questions. We got a few more minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. If I miss your questions, like I always say, find my rankings at yardsperfantasy.com. Use our start sit tool at yardsperfantasy.com/start-sit, and I'll be back tomorrow, 12 o'clock, all the way up to kickoff. Ask me all the questions you want. I just made a trade. Had Najee Harris, T. Higgins, and Penny, and I got in return Christian McCaffrey, Damian Pierce, and Elijah Moore. Yeah, I like it. I don't like giving up Higgins, but we're fading Najee Harris. Definitely fading Rashad Penny. I like it. DJ Moore or Garrett Wilson in the flex. We're going to go DJ Moore. Miles Sanders or James Conner. I'm going to say Sanders, only because I think, like we were just talking about, James Conner could come back and be limited, and we don't even know if he's going to play. And I like Miles Sanders a lot this week. What else we got here? We're going to try to stick with the start-sit questions. We can do trade questions during the week. People are trying to make their lineups at the last second here. Juju or Pollard in the flex? Give me Juju. Give me Pollard. Fuck it. What else we got? ETN or Perriman? We're going to go Travis Etienne. He's still seeing 10% of the targets in each game so far. He's this close to having a couple good games. And we forget, Travis Etienne, he missed all of last year. He missed all of his rookie season. Week 1 and week 2, those are his first 2 NFL games. We forget that. We do. We forget that these are his first 2 NFL games, and how many times do we see he's basically a rookie? How many times do we see rookies come out and just take over a backfield right away? Especially when you got a veteran who is healthier than we thought he was going to be to start the season in James Robinson. Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, or Kittle in the flex. I think we'll go Terry McLaurin. Curtis Samuel, Travis Etienne, or Allen Robinson. Let's go Curtis Samuel. Yeah. Should I trade Jonathan Taylor and Cortland Sutton for Devontae Adams and Jamar Chase? I don't hate it. But I would not want to really give up the stud running back. But I'm fine with it if you want to do it. All right. I'm thinking this would probably be a good place to end it. What do you guys think? Good place to end it. Like I said, find all my rankings, yardsperfantasy.com. I'll be back tomorrow live at 12 o'clock. I'm going to go all the way up to kickoff. Answering all your start sit questions all the way up to kickoff. And like I said, if I missed your question and didn't get to it, if you have more, yardsperfantasy.com, find my rankings, and you can use our start sit tool, which is basically what we're doing here. You're asking me the question, you're putting in 2 players. It's going to pump out who I have ranked higher. It's going to tell you. yardsperfantasy.com/start-sit. Yeah, that's all we got. I'll see you guys tomorrow.